Your time is now to become a champion of your real estate brand. Are you ready?
Welcome to the stage, it's your moment to shine. Level up your game, success is on the line. Okay, your time is now to become a champion of your real estate brand. Are you ready? Let's go! The Champions Podcast starts now!
All right, friends, welcome back. The Champions Podcast is in action here, and you'll see cohort Ian. He's not here today. He's actually hanging out in Madrid, Spain, going to an EXP event there. So he's getting ready to have a blast and learn and grow and develop. So, Birgit, you and I need to push him when he gets back and feel what happened in that event, all right?
Absolutely. We need to go and pick up on that energy that he's been leading with because he's definitely has been bringing it. So good for you, Ian. Hope you're having a good time. Miss you.
I know he is having a good time and he'll join us again soon. So if we can't have all three of us, it's great to have you here, Birgit. We are just going to have some fun today too. Talking about a topic that usually hits, this time of year. We're early in the year and it starts weighing on us, especially here in the United States where we have snowy weather. You get trapped inside, you're correlating to a bear and hibernating. We were just chatting about, I barely get the dog out for a walk. I let her out back. You said being outside about 15 minutes was that threshold. We want to be inside, and then that starts leading to frustration. Hey, we're not making our goals. We're not following suit. We lost our New Year's mindset. All that stuff starts happening. So, what do you see, Birgit? Let's just dive into these frustrations, and then we could talk and kind of lean in. Ways to overcome and all that stuff.
This is a great topic. You're right. This time of year, we all tend to get frustrated a little bit more. Bears and other things, they can hibernate during this time of year and they don't have to do a darn thing. And so for us, hibernation, yes, we want to hibernate, but we can't really hibernate and we are supposed to be making our goals. And so, but who wants to go outside or do anything days like this? We just want to sit at home and, watch Netflix or something like that. Is not very helpful to our goals. And I see quite a bit too. I read some statistics from some of the real estate at the outlets, Realtor.com and other places. I think the NAR maybe even posted something, but we had a lot of fallout from deals this past December and leading into January, one of the highest numbers of deals that we have lost due to mutual cancellations. So that also adds into the frustration pie. Personally, I have an agent and this month, he's lost 5 deals that were all going to close and they're all gone. And so it makes sense that we're feeling challenged and, sometimes let's just keep pushing, let's push through and keep going. Sometimes it gets a little tough. I'm not going to lie. It gets a little tough with that mindset. And when everything just feels like, nothing is happening. The news is constantly bad. Deals are falling out. It's snowing buckets. What can we do? So I hear you guys out there because I definitely hear it a lot from my agents I work with and just in general.
Absolutely. And that frustration, it brews. It just starts kind of like you ever see like those videos? I don't think I've ever done this where you take soda bottle, Coca-Cola, whatever, and you put a Mentos fizzy something or other in there. And it's kind of like that. You've got your soda bottle, it's life, and then all of a sudden this one little drop falls in and it doesn't blow up immediately, right? It just starts and all of a sudden you start seeing it and it starts at the bottom.
Exactly. Kind of simmers,
Right.
right? It like
Right.
simmers.
That's that frustration, right? It's got the frustration pill, we could call it,
Ooh, I
drops
like it.
into your 2 liter, whatever measurement you have, boom, here it sits. And then
Yeah.
it's going to activate when it activates. So from what you do, because I know you do a lot of the coaching through these things, how do you stay ahead of these frustrations? How do you stay ahead of that frustration pill dropping? And just like even you said that one agent, 5 transactions, my mind goes crazy with that because one, okay, but if you're having 5 in a very short amount of time, I've got a lot of flags that pop up in my head. But I wanted to get with you and just say, how do you overcome those frustrations? How do you get ahead?
Yes, and I see some. I know I can resonate with some of those flags, and though his flags are so completely different due to our current political environment, that it is an entirely different animal. First of all, we take it on. I never talk to an agent like that and say, okay, well, that's done. Keep pushing through. There's a moment where we have to hold space. and say, you know what, this is what happened. It stings, it sucks, or it's super frustrating. Go lick your wounds. You know, lick your wounds if you decide you want to lick your wounds, but put bookends around licking your wounds. Because if you end up staying in that place for too long, more time will go by that ends up making a difference in your lack of production too. So, but do we want to be in that space and feel it for a moment? Right? I had a hard time wrapping my head around it because we were all set and we've been walking this thing and towards his goals and whatnot. And then January comes around and something completely different. So that's number one. Hold, you know, you want to give that space. And I know, you know, real estate is one of these industries where we're constantly pushing, we want to do better, create more, but we truly would just want to give that moment and hold some space. And then come back. Then we say, okay, is there anything that we could have learned here in retrospect? Is there anything? Because we want to come back out of the gate stronger than ever. So was there anything that we can learn from this that we can do differently next time? Do we need to pivot? How can we hedge? So I turn it into forward moving focus to allow them to get out of that place of frustration. We bring that neuroscience lens in, frustration, fight or flight, we can't think. So we have to get through that so we can engage our brain again in a way that wants to help us by finding solutions. And we don't do that while we stay in frustration. So we have to be creative and say, okay, what can I learn? How can I move it forward? What do I need to do? And immediately when we start asking it, our brain already goes to work. So that is one of the ways that in the moment that I deal with it. The way you can hedge against the beginning is know. If you know that either your business has a dip in January, February, or you're having a bit of a struggle on the personal side because it is January, February, you know, snow and a month and a lack of sunlight, prepare for it. You have 9 months, literally, I mean, entire year, but you have an entire year to prepare for that. So these are not new cycles for you. The time of the year comes around every year and it affects you in the same way every year. So decide to do something different. For me, it's going outside. I will throw myself in the snow if I have to, just to I need that energy, or prepare to make sure that you are secure in whatever that security means to you when that time of the year comes.
I think you nailed it, especially as you talk about it happens every time this year. We're out in Indiana where the weather gets gloomy, it's cold, we're inside. I've often said it's a great time to take a weekend getaway.
Hmm?
Right? Go get some sun. Go to a place that makes you happy and take it all in. That's it. 2 day and overnight, whatever. Those little things. But I think when you see those trends, that's when you need to be self-aware and say, all right, hey, I felt this way last year. Now I feel again this year. Is it going to repeat the third year,
Mhm.
fourth year, fifth year? That's up to you, right? So if you're in that frustrated spot, how do you get yourself out? Dig out, change the space. Tony Robbins says, change the energy. And that's a huge piece, very similar to what you were saying as well.
Absolutely have to change. It starts by changing the state and also by acknowledging. You know, real estate has its own cycles, but our own real estate business has very much its own cycle on top of that. So agents, they do a lot of production in the first quarter of the year. So January, February, March can be super busy for them. Others can't make anything happen, no matter if their life depended on that. So if that is the season of your business, we have to acknowledge that and do something about it beforehand so we don't end up staying in victim mode. Agents, I'm going to say it again, don't be a victim. Stay in control and move this thing forward and plan it out in such a way that you not only know what the current cycle is in real estate, are we more buyer side, seller side, that sort of thing, but you also know where you are in the cycles of your business, because that matters hugely. And they don't synchronize. They tend to be conflicting waves.
When you say that too, it's also that scarcity mindset to say, hey, I'm the victim of what's going on. It's how can you understand that you're going through a frustrating time, a stressful time, diagnose it, understand it, and say, all right, I need to dig out. I was thinking too, for those that work out, you don't see immediate result. Right? It's a long term. You got to put the work in to get healthier, to get stronger, to get better, to get mental clarity, all that stuff, right? You're putting in the work. We'll have that same mindset, especially in real estate. You could do it almost for any business too, to say, hey, let's put in the work. If you're feeling frustrated, why is that? Break it down. How do I get ahead of it, like we were saying? But maybe it's working twice as hard right now to say, hey, let me push through this frustration. I think back to, again, just that workout analogy. It's just like, man, I'm pumping weights, or you're running, trying to lose weight, either gain weight, lose weight, or gain muscle, lose weight, and you're not getting anywhere. You hit that plateau, right? You're like, come on, man. You're in the mirror. You're like checking you out. You're like, man, I can't get past that threshold.
Yeah,
What do I
right.
need to do? And sometimes it's that extra push. It's such as business, especially in real estate, to push harder, dig deeper. If you're making calls and you're making 20 calls a day and you're getting frustrated and getting no results, well, make 40, make 80, make a lot more. If you're doing open houses and you're only doing one a weekend, well, cool. What about two a weekend? What about four a weekend?
I
What
used to do
holds
full
you
weekends.
back?
Yep.
What holds you back from doing more?
Mhm.
Right? Is it your own headspace? Is it your surroundings around you? That's up to you to decide and figure that out. And that's a great point for Coach B here to help you with those things, to discover that stuff. So if you need that help, definitely get in touch with her. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. That's how I would triage. And it's exactly why what you may not know. And we talked about Ian previously and then doing his, he was running a marathon, right? And he was doing that whole prep he was doing a big race. I can't remember if it was now marathon.
He's supposed to do a half
Oh,
this
yeah, that's what it
weekend.
was.
However, his knees flaring up from his last race.
Oh, okay.
So he actually told me this week, or yeah, this past week, that he's not going to run the race because of how his body's feeling, which
Yep.
again, he's assessing how he's feeling. And it's not like an escape that, oh, cool, I don't have to run because my body. No, his knee is, physically swollen still, and it hasn't come down enough to have him feel comfortable. So he's still staying motivated, but he's also knowing when to pull back. And this is that moment in his, just especially as we talk about workouts and correlating all this stuff, he's pulling back and saying, hey, I'm not going to do this for further injury. I'm going to pause and I'll be able to be stronger on the next one or the next 20.
And that is so smart. And for him, he can do that because he's so secure in no, okay, the next one will come. Because exactly what you're describing, that swollen knee is a curveball that just came up. So we take that into real estate. Here we're encountering curveballs. Okay, nothing is happening. I'm not getting anything. So this is your curveball. The number one way you work with that, or we can work with that, is we address those curveballs. What are your curveballs that you cannot see around? Because those are the ones we want to head off right away and find solutions for. So when that knee starts swelling, you have something that you can actually do about it and still move forward. And so, right, you might have to do more calls. You might have to be willing to allow somebody else to listen in on your calls and seeing what is the structure of your calls? Is it skill level? Is it quality, quantity? So, there's two different things. It's not always just about, oh, make 100 calls, right? Sometimes it's about, let's see what's actually happening within those calls. And it's just progress. It is boring. The process of progress is boring. I am currently, I'm a long distance hiker, and we're talking about that, but I am in light conditioning, and it's January. And my first events are not coming up probably until maybe March at the earliest, maybe, April. It's boring. I don't want to be in a gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, whatnot. But if I don't prepare now, then I'm not going to be able to do any of that. And to me, those type of things are important. So it's the same thing. The process of progress is boring.
Yep.
Bottom line. But that is where all the success will be if you follow your process.
Couldn't help but agree. Be attached. How's the saying go? Don't be attached to the results, be attached to the outcome. I think I'm not saying that right. That part out of there.
Don't be attached to the outcome, be attached to the journey or
Process.
something like that, the process.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, if you know every day that you have to make 10 calls, make your 10 calls every day. Because if you've mapped this out and you know that will get you, make the calls.
And you know what, you sparked the thing in me too. When you're saying that, hey, do a little bit more calls, do a little bit more work. It doesn't have to be forever, but it has to be the right now. Something's got to change. Something's got to dig in. So what if you have a mental block, coach, saying, hey, all right, I know I need to do twice as much, and I know my scripts need to be better, and I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. I have a mental block. Something's shutting me down in internally. What's your advice on that?
I would not necessarily. I would ask first of all. I said, okay, what is getting in the way? What is getting in the way from you actually accomplishing that? And we have beautiful plans. We create them, but if plans don't go into action, then something isn't right. Is it the mechanisms you're going about? Is your strategy off? What is off that doesn't allow you to move? Because the second we find it and diagnose it, you will move every single time. So to me, it's the best thing an agent can say to me. It's because that's where the work begins. So it's not less about advising, it's discovering about what's keeping you from doing it. And the more authenticity and honesty they can bring to the table, then the better we can move it forward and change it. And it works like that every single time. So that's how I address that mental block.
That's really good.
And data, you guys, don't forget your data. That's the other thing. We can't measure what we don't track, So just real quick, but we have to have our data because the data will show us, just like in a gym or the scale. Let's take the scale, right? Everybody hates to step on a scale because, it means something about me. It doesn't mean anything about you. It shows you data. And then you can take this data and allow it to inform you the kind of progress that you're currently making and is it aligning with the progress that you actually want to achieve down the road.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I have agents that literally don't want to look at that numbers. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Data is power.
Well, I think, as you say that, I love the correlation to the scale and looking at it as data. I think that's such a different mindset on scale because you hear that, I've heard it my entire life, I don't want to get on the scale, and people are concerned. I get it. But I love that correlation because it is data. And if you're an agent and you're not willing to break down those numbers, that's a barrier in itself. Is that an ego barrier? What is that? Is it a scarcity barrier? That's a digging point right there to figure out, why are you not willing? Are you ashamed that you only sold 0 or 1 homes last year? How are you feeling? And that's again why we set goals and we set these and have accountability and check in with each other, because in this business especially, we need to do that for each other, not have competition, but just have true collaboration. And I think when you have that and you're surrounded by the right people, you will be able to grow and will be able to blossom. My advice, always stay transparent. Not every day is a great day for all of us, but chances are if I'm having a bad day, maybe Coach B's having a great day. I could take some of that energy in, and that's it. That's again, having those right people around you when you could build that. And not only in just a business mindset, just, in a real estate profession, you're building your brand, which is great to have those people. But what about your personal? Do you have those people around you in that personal space as well? That, hey, cool, I could get out of real estate. I'm done for the day. Let me focus on my friends, my family, and the people who motivate me.
Yeah.
And,
Who fills
and
up your business cup?
Yeah.
Who fills up that business cup and who fills up your personal cup? We pour into people. It takes effort to make those calls, and we pour into people, and so something has to come back, so we can continue to do what we want to do most, which is serving our clients. But your pipeline, going back to numbers, that not pipeline is your data point, and it means nothing. You're saying scarcity, scarcity, shame, all of these things, fear, yes, and yes. That is usually exactly that number, just like the number on the scale. My number on the scale does show me something different than what tends to be acceptable or whatnot. Then I guess I'm just, what does that mean about me? And usually we make all these kind of stories. So data, checkbook, your checking account balance, data, all of it.
I love that you added fear in there. That's an empowering word, especially when you talk about frustration. Is it the fear of the unknown, of what's coming up, of taking a leap, something that you see a vision that's, this is going to be amazing, but I'm afraid to make that jump, whatever it is, if it's buying more leads or changing brokerages or, just enhancing your business in some direction, making a shift to better your agent. What is that fear? What is that fear, right? So I love that you mentioned that word, because that ties right into frustrations too.
I hear it a lot. I am tribe leader with EXP University for the Fast Cap program, and had the opportunity to be back a couple of times for this round. And I'm taking feverishly notes. And I hear fear is probably one of the biggest things, no matter what topic, whether we're talking about reaching out to our people, how do we ask? probably one of the the top word that's coming out of, I think there's a total of 1,300 agents part of this round. I think we're down to maybe 600. So what are you guys? You invest cap, but anyways, that's a side note. But so fear is like one of those big words that constantly comes up. When you first go in it, it's about, the better you start addressing that word fear and really start dancing with that word a little bit more, and the stronger you will be in this business.
Love that. I got a video I want to show. It's just a quick short of, one of our favorites, Tony Robbins.
Bring
And
it. Tony
he
Robbins is
talked
always good.
always good. So I want to plug this in and just add it real short here. I found it on a YouTube. Let me do this.
Frustrated or sad or worried or depressed, you think something horrible's happened, my favorite question to ask myself, what else could this mean? And I make myself come up with at least 3 different meanings, because what happens is beliefs become self-fulfilling. See, once you believe something, you don't see anything else. I've done this with your audience before. I said, look around the room and find brown. Everybody looks around. And I say, now with your eyes closed, tell me you saw that was red. And nobody sees much red. And I say, open your eyes, look for red. And they find more red. Why do you find more red? Because you get what you look for. Your beliefs condition you to find. And then I say, how many saw... I said, you even saw things that weren't there. How many saw beige stuff, called it brown just to feel successful? They all laugh. How many saw burgundy, called it red? They all laugh. And the reason is because once we're after something, we'll even make the color different to feel successful. If you think somebody's mean, you'll find meanness in them if it's not there. If you think somebody's your dear friend and they do something terrible, you'll say, oh, they're having a bad day. So our beliefs control us. So unquestioned beliefs that produce stress, those are the ones you've got to question.
Our beliefs control us. Love that. So
Absolutely.
right. I love that
Yes.
piece. And so you gotta take those steps back in frustrating moments and control what you can control. And that's something that you can. So
Absolutely.
you got to take that step back and assess and be able to stay focused. And something for myself, it's prioritizing. If I could I could create a to-do list. I've got a to-do list a mile long, but if I don't prioritize it, can't control the narrative of it. And then I'm just in a circle and I'm frustrated because I'm like, oh, I got this huge list trying to do it, but I'm trying to do all of it all at once. No, no, no. One step at a time. Prioritize your top 3 to 5, knock those out, then move on to the next 5, right? So
And that's a smart way of doing it right there. Now, that is a smart way of doing it, because you're taking a step back, you're taking a breath, and instead of like powering and smashing that door in of your frustration, you're like, I'm just going to take a sledgehammer to this thing. It's like, no, sometimes you step back, you're like, you know what? If I just take a breath, get back to my thinking part of my head, all I have to do is just jiggle a handle and open the door, and other solutions will come. So don't be afraid of trying a handle.
love that. Love that. I dig it. So, well, good. I think we've got some amazing points for our viewers today, Coach. And, I knew this topic would be awesome, especially for the agents that you speak with, the things you get to see. I know we all deal with this. And again, in the winter months, it happens. Business is up and down, and you're losing deals. You're not getting any new ones. It gets frustrating, but you have to stay focused and you have to say it'll be okay. And I know that's easier said than done. I speak for experience. I tried to tell myself that a lot, and I'm like, oh, come on. You see your bank account dip down, you're like, oh, I don't have a closing yet. One of our leaders, Amanda Hurd, she always would say, trust the process. And when you're doing the right things and you're focusing on the right results are going to come. They will. In this society, we want immediate results. That's us as people, right? It's when you're running a business like real estate, understand and don't let off the gas. Keep moving. And even when you've got 5 closings happening, cool, keep pushing. Because that's when it's another time that when your real estate business is up and down because you've got, oh, I've got 5 closings coming up in March or whenever. All right, cool. Well, you're missing your prospecting time or your open house time or whatever it is. So continue to control what you can control out there and push yourself. That's my advice. And Coach, I'll turn it over to you and give us some advice and wrap it up for us, my friend.
Yeah, somebody once told me it doesn't matter if you have 5 closings on the books today. If you haven't done your prospecting today, you've not had a successful day, right? Because that all leads down what's going to happen in the next 30, 60, 90 days. So do not sit on those laurels for 1 nanosecond. We always have to stay in it and look at frustration as data. You were talking a minute ago about we all want immediate results. Of course we do. Then pick up the phone. That's an immediate result that you can create for yourself right there. Make that one call just one. Don't have to do all 10, just one, right? But I will guarantee you, if you make one, you're going to do a couple more because it puts you right back into that space. And that is also my personal antidote. Anytime I get frustrated, I create. It's like, who do I need to talk to? What appointment do I need to set up? What can I do to pull myself out of, well, victim mode? That's completely how it translates for me. Pull myself out to come back to it in a more empowered way. And I do that by connecting with people who have done equal, more, whatever I need to do to come back into that space where I can move forward.
We've got to make things like that come together. You're awesome. I always appreciate your intellect and the words of wisdom that you bring, Coach. Always wonderful. And I know something that you're offering agents out there, a 15-minute session. Tell them about that and how they can connect with you, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have come to a 50-minute call. Bring something that you're really stuck on. And I will challenge you. We'll find a way through it in 15, 20 minutes. Absolutely guaranteed. We'll put that in the show notes, the link, and just hop on my calendar. No risk involved. And let's see what we can shift forward.
Love that. Let's make it happen. Friends, thanks everybody for watching. Ian will be back here soon. And Coach, we look forward to getting more insight from you always. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
Woo-hoo. See you guys.
You should just ask, just stay. Just ask, just stay. You should just ask, just stay. Just ask, just stay. You should just ask, just stay.